Hej, ja jestem Susan, a to kolejny odcinek serii Zagrajmy w Eternal Strands. Kontynuujemy robienie questów. Teraz musimy się udać do Aksu w tej twierdzy. To będziemy mieli jeszcze jednego questa pobocznego, gdzie musimy tam znaleźć coś.
You are hardly in any position to make. The council convened and unanimously stripped you of your role. You no longer.
And how quickly did you convene? You hardly waited for my daughter's.
She is dead because of you. Because of your wreck.
Arun, how dare you? Every decision I've made, every action I've taken.
Abandoning her at the Grand Gate was for her protection. And that is Khan Artemay to you.
Is this a bad time?
Yes, as a matter of.
No. You're more than welcome at Cassidon's Hold.
I came to offer my condolences.
Oh. Thank you.
Isla's work was on part by her intellect up for what she believed in, reminiscence on her bravery. Ayla welcomed us with open arms, appreciate her kindness.
She was nothing short of brilliant. She dedicated her life to reclaiming lost knowledge of the Arks.
She was. Except.
Then why are you so opposed to giving her the funeral she did?
With the Surgeborn swarming Denevron, we can't risk a trip to the Hallowpire.
For generations, every Stanild has received the right of Ayla will not be the.
Could I perform the rite on your behalf?
You? Don't tell me you're a Hallowpire priestess on top of bigger.
Skies, do you want a funeral or not? She's a.
Ayla saved my life.
I suppose you do. Oh, fine. For the rite of ashes, you need to burn an object that was. As you collect the ashes, you must read a rite aloud to thank the flames for bringing the deceased.
Do you have an object that was sacred to Ayla?
Ayla's most prized possessions aren't in Cassidon's Hold. She had a secret refuge in Dredge's Mire. You're sure to find something. She was always sneaking away at night to work there.
You knew she was sneaking out of Cassidon.
I knew my daughter better than she really. Return to me.
Thank you, Brynn.
Dobra, tutaj z kimś do pogadania jeszcze? Chyba nie. Dobra, w takim układzie mamy tutaj jeszcze tego Companion Questa i musimy udać się do Hollow Spire Rise in Upper Denevron. Chociaż z drugiej strony tam możemy się udać zaraz po tym, bo tutaj będziemy myśleli się i tak tam udać, a w tym czasie chwila, a gdzie to jest? From her Scrooge, Neil Portvale. Okej, a Portvale jest tu, czyli na samym starcie. No tak, to jest to zamrożone miasteczko, które już nie jest zamrożone. A tutaj. Czyżby to było tam w tej kopalni, czy gdzieś? Tam wilku. Żegnam wilku. Nie chcę z tobą walczyć teraz. Tak, to będzie.
That might be Ayla's secret refuge. It's actually not too far from Lucia's work.
Gdzieś tam mam się udać? Ale tu nic nie ma. Jak się tam dostać? Nie pamiętam. Tu było przejście, dobra. Ślepy jestem czasem.
Ayla dedicated her life to restoring the Arks. Darm's right. We will need to continue her research. But consider sacred for the
O, on jeszcze żyje. Dobra, już nie.
a letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her. A toy Archon. That's sweet. Dom, do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons, marked with annotations, just like Lucia's.
Could be useful.
Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
No dobra. Teraz idziemy do Upper. Tutaj, czyli to będzie Guild District. Najkrótsza droga. Dobra, ale najpierw zajmiemy się tym, bo to też jest w tej samym miejscu. Tam na górze coś będzie, jo? Dobra, to na górę się dostaniemy. Na górę? Tak. A, w końcu ten kociołek odwiedzą. Był taki dziwny.
This place never fails to impress. Just imagine it before the veil went up. Wouldn't have had to scavenge for alchemically treated coal.
Dobra. Trzeba lecieć teraz tutaj.
I'll need to place the toy ark on the high pyre. Sad to burn such a sweet toy.
Dobra, mam spalić.
Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Brynn.
I'm sure I will. There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out. Dom? Aurea?
We're... Can you hear me now?
You're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scry. Something strange is afoot.
Najpierw musimy tym się zająć. Musimy pozbierać trochę materiałów, żeby można było je wymienić na to, co będziemy potrzebować. Albo w sumie zobaczymy najpierw, czy w ogóle musimy coś zdobywać, bo chyba trochę materiałów jeszcze mamy. Zaraz się sprawdzi. No, to chcę coś pogadać.
The last conversation I had with the spindle was about Era's plague. I went to
Really?
Oh, my no, but she understood being stigmatized by it. Even though Era's plague I haven't known many others like me throughout my life. It was nice to speak with someone.
I'm glad you got that.
Agreed. We never know him.
Too true.
A?
Okay, let's take that again. I'm sorry. I needed a moment to... I think...
I'm impressed. Not everyone can...
A hard-won skill. When I first made head of the scouts, Stanel did everything. His favorite trick was poking and prodding until I lost my cool.
You've seemed pretty together around him.
Yeah,
What's that?
the intersection between meditation, bare hand... There's a complete series of whole-body motions. Painfully slow, moving from pose to pose, but at the end, just before you reach the final pose, you explode into...
And that helped.
Oh yeah. It's a solid workout which can be exhausting, but after a few months, a few deep breaths, and Stanilv can't touch me. Well, except when he puts my people in danger with his ego.
I can see how that kind of control would be vital. And again, I'm truly sorry.
Yes, we will.
O, jeszcze jeden druk. Arek, co tam?
Thoughtful.
I've had something on my mind, actually.
Of course. It's nice to have a moment.
I admire your band very much, but do enjoy that my room in the hold offers some privacy.
Not
Sometimes I just need
speaking of.
to a distracting amount. The way you move smoothly.
I just tried.
That's also how you move when you fight. It's got an... Somehow, despite the chaos all around, I find your travels intriguing. I want to learn more about the rest of the Maida, and in turn, want to show you the night. Maybe I'm being optimistic. Maybe we're just... I like you. A lot. I'm afraid to risk the friendship, but I need to take a chance that there could be an us.
Aha. No, Arek, nie dostaniesz mojej Brynn.
I am incredibly touched that you think of me that way.
I sense a but.
Yes. You're a great guy.
I do. There's so much happening right now. I wasn't, but I'd regret it if I never asked. Still friends?
Absolutely.
Good. Thanks for hearing me out. And
Jeszcze jeden?
How are you feeling?
we're still friends? Then there's zero hard feelings here, Brynn. Sometimes it just does.
Jeszcze jeden talk.
Hard to believe I have a...
The Axel seemed certain you were ready for it.
Haroon's also a politician. She knows this some...
He's already thinking politically as if he would support the Axel last anyway.
Haroon's a practical lady. She knows the farming and fishing around Cassidon's keeps us fed, but rare materials for...
Which gives you some...
It does. But also my title is precarious. But implicitly, if she goes...
Wonder how this role will affect his day-to-day, ask if he knows
Think
yet.
this will drastically change how you interact with the other.
In time, I imagine so. we've been without an advocate for... I do have some promising candidates to take over day-to-day operations.
Takes multiple people.
You got me. Yes, if one group is over or underperforming, wins, listen to me. Just chain me to a death.
Job one will be dealing with the source, right?
If it were all on me, I'd be overwhelmed. But you tell me. Am I ready?
You're ready to be a Khan. But I don't think you're ready, and that's to your credit. Stanhold's failing was never getting his hands dirty. I don't think...
You are right. I don't want to make my people think I'm shirking leadership. But I can't just sit around...
Just do it. If you need to get out there...
That is...
No jeszcze jeden? Arek, co ty tak dużo chcesz gadać?
really moving out there.
I was told time was of the essence.
Yeah, but you made it look easy. Maybe someday you could give classes to the
Looks
novices.
like a opportunity. Told him I'm game. I'm sure he can handle putting scouts through their bases. Told him so.
I can't imagine your people really need classes in how to run.
Well, you make it look effortless. But when someone's new to it, there's a...
I've had people note that training...
I've read about that, but... Well, but yes. Breathing for distance is a skill. Remember when we were talking about the eye mobilizing?
I did.
No, it wasn't. We were playing a game, and even though it went terribly...
Dobra. Arek skończył. Co potrzebujemy, żeby to zrobić? Aha, musimy sobie zupgrade'ować węgiel.
Never quite forgets that.
Temple coal taking you back?
Unfortunately, yes. It conjures up images of stern keepers. It was everywhere in Renland. The church has the nation. I don't think I really stopped running at all until...
Until you met the love.
Yes.
It's been a strain on you, but
I'm sure everyone...
needing it?
Maybe. But I find comfort in the road.
Worried if you stop moving.
I suppose I am still running.
Does she know that?
It's not something I want to burden her.
She's strong. In a lot.
Right.
Dobra, mamy węgiel. Mamy to, a mamy jakiś lżejszy materiał? Nie.
It's significantly easier to do a repair than working up. I'm going to go soft.
We could use some really intricate chandeliers to brighten up the place.
Casman would be happy. Though,
It's not like her to run out of things, it's true.
I don't know. The intention.
I think you both are.
Yes. But I'm the one who's been following, and the moment I say, hey, maybe we could...
You're right.
It isn't.
He didn't have a great reaction to what you said. It's true. But at the same...
Well...
Maybe he deserves a chance to...
You're as bad as Casman. Speaking of, we should see her and present...
A? Okej, trzeba z nią teraz omówić.
I had a chance to run a test, and I would say our stove is cooking better. Keeps the heat well, burns clean.
Dom's always been very good at treating that kind of coal.
Hardly. No, I simply...
Oh?
Tarmakind uses exceptionally precise temperatures to work the metal, yes? Sometimes...
I mean...
I finished Xavier's journals. He was quite thorough and talked extensively about working...
Nothing quite helps me commune with the flames like someone's...
You'd be surprised. But...
Precisely. And perhaps we could lean on our intrepid point to investigate.
Of course. I'd be...
They must have kept records.
I really appreciate...
No nie, i znowu szukać kartek. Dobrze. Jak mus to mus. Teraz tam, najpierw. Co tam może?
Hey, I can't imagine how you...
I am broke. Everyone wants a piece of me.
Because you're in charge.
For now, without her, she wouldn't want me to cry.
You can... I know our Weaver band is still fairly new.
The funeral will honor her memory. One day at a time, Brynn.
I performed the rite, and I...
Thank you, Brynn. Isla admired.
It's not how she would have wanted things.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the... You owe Brynn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but none of which she would ever have had to do...
For my acts, I know. It's all my fault. I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there, I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported her work. My regrets will...
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief. It is unfair that you lost a child. I am so sorry that happened to you. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or...
How?
Just do one small thing a day that would make her proud. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. But there is one thing. It's called the Ark of Verdance. An enchantress named Lucia de Crassus built it.
Lucia.
Consider it a thank you.
Is there anything else you can tell?
Please, just leave.
Fine.
Dobra. Teraz trzeba pogadać znowu z Orłem.
I need you to know. I feel as if I'm alone in this, even though everything is...
Of course.
You, laying Isla to rest, is what she would... You inspired her to be better.
It was the least I...
Don't diminish.
You've got our support, whatever form that takes.
For what it's worth.
By the way, I found something. It's a letter I found in the Spindle's hideout. I didn't read it.
I don't understand why you've...
It's okay.
Likewise. You deserve better from him. But that was... Come to think of it, we all...
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you?
Isla devoted her life to the Ancestor. Her we need to honor her sacrifice. The sermon actually is stronger than we imagined. Tell her we need to deal with them. We still don't know how an ark brought us in here. Tell her we need to uncover its mysteries.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. We can't let her death be in vain.
I wish I could help. But arcs were... That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles. Whereas, if you're going to try to fix it, consider me...
It's too great an advantage to ignore.
No dobra.
My light. I remember the day you were born, vividly. When I held you, my heart was so... And I know your mother felt the same. For all her flaws, she would be... I am...
Okay.
Certainly where emergency powers of authority...
Consult with Dachma about Spindle's notes. Czyli wracamy do Dachma. A coś chce?
Were you crying?
Yes. The rite of ashes, just the spindle and the axle only had
It's awful. I can't
so much in life. It just makes you appreciate what a gift.
Dobra.
All this time, the spindle was sneaking up.
Sounds like you two had more in common than you...
Just reminds me that you've got to...
Was there something you wish you...
Not...
You performed the rite of ashes.
Glad to hear it. Not being...
I'm sure.
A religion founded on fire seems like a natural draw.
Hardly. In Renland, magic was ostracized. Pure ignorance. That's why I've turned my back on it for many years. But you're right, that the prominence of the church in Upper Denevron suggests the weave...
You want the ashes from the altar as well.
The Eye asked me to collect the ashes from the altar on his behalf.
Depends on the sect. But often the ashes from the ritual are interred with the body in a burial site. Other times, if it's a prominent family, which the Stanhodes seem to be, the ashes are housed in a family mausoleum. Tragic, of course, that a father must do this for his child instead of the other way around.
The rite I read mentioned shrouding the spindle in an eternal...
Yes, although the Reformed sect do believe in an afterlife, it is featured more. The idea being that the Great Fire is an ethereal divine and who waits for its followers beyond.
I appreciate your perspective on it.
Before you go, you could have just paid your respects and left, but it was the right thing.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expedition, is there any chance our scry is degrading like the ones belong?
No. I'm positive this is something else entirely. We have the means to test for degradation, and there is none.
As long as it doesn't give out on us.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, the writing is... and her notes are significant.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just... she built it.
That is quite the revelation.
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the... Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without...
Yes. Yeah. On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore... She was so close to a schematic, intricate lab. Solar has the final design. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part. This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a Weaver channeling magic.
If we had built a power core earlier, could her death...
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life. Through researching all the Ark... Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power...
So she knew she was going to die at the Grand...
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway.
We can't let it be, and so... Then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can...
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural...
Okej, coś tam będziemy musieli zdobyć. Nowy wpis.
Have you ever felt like you couldn't trust the people around? Oh, never mind. You did tell me about Aaron and how he undermined... I suppose it would have been hard to hold trust in someone who did...
It wasn't fun, I can tell you that. Is there someone here who's putting you on edge?
It's Sev. And how he was collaborating...
Oh? I can understand, but...
I didn't have time to process it. I have now, and the more I think about it, the more upset... Logically, I understand the situation. I can trace the weave of circumstance that forced his hand and led to his deception. I know he had no choice, and I've even forgiven him. I said the words to his face, so...
That's a tough one.
It reminded me again of Judea. Will the fear and the manipulation follow me forever? The secrets, the lies, the subterfuge, the Maida may seem... Every fiber of my being is screaming at the prospect of...
All right. It's clear that sitting around base camp, you need a distraction. The Axel must be overwhelmed right now. Let's find...
I'm amenable to this.
Oh no. You're coming with...
I suppose it'd be good to catch up with her and see you soon.
Dobra, czyli wracamy.
Brynn and Lane?
We're hoping that there's something you can help us with. Or rather, we're hoping...
I'm not sure
I've been at a loose end, gnawing on painful thoughts, only growing.
Huh.
So we're here to focus on problems that are a little more tangible.
That is very kind of you.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
We're here to help.
Right. I've got a petition from Arakim has been nagging me about accessing the Archon's hearth. It's now that I'm technically in charge. I'm loath to follow Kenrick. What I'm lacking to make that call is intelligence on the Archon's hearth.
Ah. I've already spent a lot of time in there, actually. It was...
Dangerous too, one would assume. Can you allow...
The coral was otherworldly, describe it to her.
The most interesting part was where they grew the coral. I could
It is a reminder that there are still lots...
Exactly.
It was hard to beat the heat or her about the foundry.
It was only one area that was particular.
I assume you refer to the arcane fountain?
Yeah. It was on another level to what you've got. I can't imagine how many...
Oh, there was amazing talk about the half-built
While
arc.
exploring where the arcs were assembled, I couldn't help but imagine Archons seem big when I'm fighting them. But the scale feels...
Fascinating.
Let's now therefore now move on.
There's lots going on in there. Do you think it's safe enough to send in...
Not quite. I still have grave concerns about...
I believe I may have a potion that will maintain your body temperature even in the... I don't quite have the equipment to make it yet, but...
That's wonderful. That said, I would like a demonstration.
A fair stipulation. Some sort of combat encounter in the Archon's... Fighting an Archon that relies on fire magic would be ideal to demonstrate the
You know I'm always up for a
I have no doubt in your abilities after what...
Well then, I'll be back.
Okej, czyli mamy pokonać... Aha, dobra. Czyli mamy pokonać orka, kiedy mamy na sobie Poushiona. Dobra. Czyli lecimy tutaj. Chwila, ale na pewno? Hunt for Norian documents in the Romanos Canal in the Institute. Okej. Wszystko się ogranicza do tego Archon Heart. Okej. To lecimy. Oj, nie spojrzałem, jaki boss tu jest.
The Archon's hearth once more. Wish Isla was here to guide me.
I could assist in her absence.
What the?
Brynn, what's...
Aurea, the scry has been compromised by the Surgeborn. Stay off it.
Compromised is such a strong word. I just want to talk.
A cave should not be this hot.
There are times I wish our forebears had cut a few corners. But no, everything still works decades later. It just works wrong.
Dobra. Trzeba pokonać. Trzeba coś pokonać, będąc pod czymś. Tyle wiem. Dobra, no mniej więcej wiem, jak to zrobić chyba.
It is my region, after all.
Like I would tell you.
Whatever plan you've concocted, it better if we work together.
You murdered my friend.
Technically, I didn't touch her. It isn't my fault she lacked the stamina to follow through on what she started.
Nie było to. Dałoby się doczytać, czym jest ten ark, którego mam znaleźć. A, to może on. Też nie. Nie ma co zgadywać, trzeba przeczytać. Dobra, to później. Teraz lecimy tego. Gdzieś tam w dół musimy zejść. O, to ciebie może mam pokonać. To nie było to nadal? Tutaj gdzieś mam iść. Nie tutaj?
Is that bottled magma?
I've got one. I can't believe it's still warm. And you can feel the magic pulsing through it.
I wonder if proximity to the coral has affected it in some way. Intriguing to think of weaver smiths and priests working side by side down here.
The preachers you grew up with would launch an hour-long diatribe at the very thought, yeah?
An hour would just be the introduction.
This is promising. Detailed smithing logs with Saviour's logo. Lots of sketched out designs, mostly in the margins.
Doodles always help me think too.
Dobra, gdzie teraz mam biec? W tym kierunku.
That's all I'm going to find down here. Get your research hat ready, Lane.
Dobra, czyli tu już mamy wszystko. Teraz to.
There's a lot.
I do not need a hat.
Witam, bosie, i nie chcę z tobą walczyć.
There's a lot of coral here. I must be getting close to where the Enclave stored shaped bars. Will the Surgeborn know our plan when I pick it up? I guess that's a risk I need to take.
Bar-shaped coral. You and I have such similar taste in treasure. Whatever you're planning to do with that is nothing compared to what we could accomplish if we put our minds together.
I can manage well enough on my own.
You could do so much more than manage.
Chyba już nie mam za bardzo. Muszę sprawdzić, co my musimy upolować w ogóle. Szkoda co tego półszyjona. Z tym zużyliśmy wszystkie, więc i tak trzeba było przestać.
The Surgeborn in the Howling Jail somehow has access to...
We know. I can feel it in there with me. It's not
The good news is, as far as we can tell, it only has access when you're... At most, it seems to cause interference when you're above ground. We don't think it...
until we can block its presence. Best to keep use of the scry to
Brynn seems to be growing stronger as whole. This is...
How the scry is a complex piece of Weaver enchantment. That this Surgeborn has...
We still don't know exactly what it wants, but if it continues to infiltrate our constructs...
War?
imagine they gain control of the Enclave's arcs. Sure, they're dangerous now. They could storm the Maida in a couple of hundred...
You think the Surgeborn's interests expand?
With an enemy as calculated as this...
Use physical access to the scry as if we know how exactly the server is communicating.
A physical connection to the scry to communicate. The Surgeborn doesn't have either.
Well, let's start with what we know. The imprisoned Talon... But the Herald was there and waiting. It was not surprised at all. Ergo, the Herald and Talon were communicating somehow. Would it not be reasonable to suggest the Surgeborn can communicate with one another using... Or worse, perhaps they can...
A single shared
The implications are frankly staggering, but it is... And if I'm correct, it's not such a leap to imagine creatures like this, or perhaps...
You mentioned she could feel the server. Sure, that I thought it...
I could feel the Surgeborn.
Doesn't feel great.
The kind of nausea that only comes from the...
It takes a lot out of me to stay connected to you when it's present.
That must be why there's interference.
What you're both describing... It makes me wonder if the Eye was under a deeper influence.
How so?
We assumed he was merely manipulated into a foolhardy plan, but... What if the...
I could believe it. But if that's the case, then we need to limit Brynn's exposure to it through the...
And yours.
I don't think it's me the Surgeborn wants to influence.
All right. How are we going to...
The reason Aurea can sense the Surgeborn presence on the scry is likely because it's wielding magic to communicate. However, unlike Aurea, the Surgeborn can't pull magic from the air around it. Otherwise...
But it can only reach me when I'm...
Where the tangles are most dense. We need to cut off its access to raw magic.
That's where the spindle comes in. Thanks to her, we finally have the missing piece to get our escort.
It was a failsafe in the case that the Ark of Verdance will create a safe bubble against the tangles, which would be the...
Just like it did with the...
Exactly. But without the crushing weight that caused...
So, the plan. We get the Ark to the source.
Or at the very least, starts the...
If the herald waiting down there doesn't destroy... I'll need to take it down. If
That sounds dangerous.
It might be a risk worth...
We have to. The Enclave is overflowing with raw magic, and this source is clearly the... Too many tangles have led to the floods. They allow the Surgeborn to communicate without the source under control.
Then that's our plan. We build a power core, then we...
I'll join you at Cassidon's.
Dobra, teraz tak, ona miała mi tu skrawcić.
And with this power core, we can fix our Ark of Verdance.
Lately, I've...
Hey, I know things look bleak, but this... Don't let the Talon rob you of it.
You're right.
I always am. Now.
Dobra, tu coś jest.
It's a little bit... It's like reaching into the past and shaking hands with its designer.
I think she'd be happy to see it up and running.
I think so too. Plans set in motion decades ago.
Dobra, teraz ty Lin.
This is really...
You figured it out then?
Yes, Xavier's idea was to use an alchemical process similar to what elements left over from weaving flame strands
Literal magma.
enchanted magma, measured precisely from one of Xavier's containers.
Solar will be over the moon.
And I'll collate the more technical details. They'll be ready.
Dobra, teraz tutaj.
Magma?
Is it not lava?
I thought it was only lava if it bubbled up from underground.
You heard the news then?
Oh, I'm sorry, Brynn.
It's fine. Just...
We're confident that between the two of us, we can make Xavier's plan.
And I'm keen to try it out. I was up sketching all night, and if it works, we'll gather more. The veil has to open some...
Or maybe we'll stay. Either option...
Or...
We could do, but...
We'll make it work. After we get this bloody Enclave sorted.
I have every faith.
Buty? No nie, nie tylko buty. Tamarkind. Kale plate. Bonus hit resistance. No fajnie to wygląda. Waży też swoje, ale fajnie wygląda.
So, I strongly suspect shenanigans, but...
About the stove.
Oh, absolutely. But...
Or lead.
Well said. And this forge is going to be invaluable, so we all benefit.
Any standouts in your loser?
There's a shy, red-headed lad named Carlos. He's...
A, tutaj mamy, tak, mamy Lin do pogadania jeszcze.
It's nice to have the camp stove working properly, even if it took Casmin quietly tossing our coal supply into the hollow one night.
Wait.
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that, but Darm and Solar have reconciled, which I suspect was her whole plan. Still, Kaz doesn't like...
Oh.
Just go easy on the teasing. I don't want to just...
Brynn, I was just thinking about how we managed...
And you and your wife seem through a...
I never doubted this time was... I am... very grateful.
You're welcome. You big romantic. Just keep...
Indeed.
Dobra, teraz Kazmin.
So, I was... Oh? Said something about you stashing...
Oh, gods, they saw that?
Sure did.
Oh, I was so careful. Listen, Brynn, you know why I did it, right?
Because our enchanter and smith need to keep working together.
Yes, and they need to keep talking. They're so good together. Just don't tell anyone.
Kaz,
Yeah?
I think everyone knows.
Gods, that's embarrassing.
You might want to sneak that coal back into the stocks at some point.
Already did. It was distracting to know the count was wrong.
No dobra. No teraz tak. Dobra, tym się zaraz zajmiemy. In Memories, teraz trzeba pogadać z Axel. Tak. To lecimy jeszcze z nią pogadać.
Khan Artime, my weaver band has repaired the arc we followed through the veil, and
To nullify the tangles at the source so it can...
its anti-magic properties are why we were able to follow it through the veil.
I see.
If we could get it to the source, we believe it could...
Except the Grand Gate was broken when the Ark pushed the Herald back.
Surely there must be another way to reach them.
Now that it's repaired, couldn't this Ark be used to leave the Enclave?
What are you saying, Carl?
It's time for someone to protect my people. I need to use that Ark to...
You would leave with the Surgeborn running loose. Or worse, allow them to spread and wreak havoc across...
No one has succeeded in stopping them yet. We've been trapped and it's time to set ourselves free before the Surgeborn overtake Cassidon's hold and kill us all.
She has a point. How people need to be safe. Fear isn't the answer to her. She needs to be brave. It isn't right. Remind her the decision will still be a treat.
Is shoving problems under the rug truly the Enclave's legacy? Because
Agreed.
the Surgeborn has infiltrated our scry. It's learning how to... If we don't put a stop to this madness, how long until they overtake the Arcs? Or bring down the...
That. Still, let's be clear. Even if you could reach the source, there's a massive Surgeborn...
I'll be ready for the Herald.
And what are you going to do about all the tangles? Punch them before they disintegrate?
Sev believes the Aeroliths can manipulate raw magic. In a response, we think if we can control the Aeroliths, we can make...
Interesting. You've put more thought into this, but as you've said, you have no...
Fine. Our plan has a few kinks.
More than a few.
How about this? If you can just give us time to present you with the final plan, it'll be your call.
I suppose that's fair. I can't...
One more thing. It's clear by now the Enclave hides its secrets well. If there's any information on the source...
There are private records that can only be accessed with the Eye's signet.
Brynn did just save your people from certain death, not...
Fine. You can borrow it. You should find information at the Spire in Upper Denevron, the Bastion.
We'll arrange a meeting with you when we're ready.
Good luck.
Dobra, czyli znowu będzie bieganie. No dobra. O tym wszystkim zajmiemy się już w kolejnym odcinku. Także dzięki za oglądanie i do usłyszenia w kolejnych. Na razie!